My name's Monday, Joe Monday, and I've got a big job, a big responsibility. I carry a badge. I'm a detective, a private detective. I just got a call, 709, investigate an accident. To be exact, guy fell off a ladder. I'm going to check it out.
The story you are about to see is all too often true. Pay attention and maybe it won't happen to you. In this story, the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Tuesday, 9:37 a.m. I got the call about the accident. Within minutes, I'm on my way. It's not far. I get to the scene at 9:52. Doesn't look good. Oh. Name's Monday. Joe Monday. Private detective. All right, sir. Can you tell me what happened?
Well, I was just doing some routine maintenance up there, and...
Up there?
Ow! Yeah, I was fixing that light. The next thing I know, I was down here.
Anybody else see what happened?
No, I usually work alone, except for when one of the guys wants to lay low in a while.
Just the facts, man. Just the facts.
Nobody saw me fall. But I am telling you, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah. That's what they all say. 11:14 a.m. I decided it was time to do some detective work. I didn't know the first thing about ladders, so I thought I'd better investigate. I went to see my friend Frank over at Associated Industries. If anybody could tell me about ladders, he'd know who it was. He's the safety director.
Hi, Joe. What brings you here?
Hi, Frank. Got a 709.
What kind?
Ladder.
Oh. What can I do to help?
I need to know all about ladders. How people should work on them, how people could fall off of them. I need to know who or what caused this accident.
Joe, let me send you to the maintenance supervisor. He can tell you what you ought to know. Just go through those doors and ask for Sam. Tell him I sent you.
Thanks.
I'll call ahead and let him know you're coming. Oh, Joe?
Yeah.
Wear these. Always play it safe.
Thanks. 11:24 a.m. I went into the plant and met Sam. He took me to the area where they store ladders.
There's one thing to remember about ladders, Joe.
Yeah? What's that?
Ladders can make your work safe and efficient if you use common sense. You don't take chances, and you think before you act. Now you ask yourself, is this the right ladder for the job? Is it set up properly? And you never, ever reach too far on a ladder. That's asking for trouble. You see, most people don't think. That's why 95% of the on-the-job ladder accidents are caused by people, not the ladders.
Can you be a little more specific?
You bet I can. You just follow me. I can tell you some of the things you always do, some of the things you never do. They are basic do's and don'ts of the business. For example, you always do set a ladder at its proper angle, and that is a 4-to-1 ratio. The length of the ladder to the point of its support should be 4 times the distance the base of the ladder is from the wall that's supporting it. And you level that ladder for stability. Now, if the surface is uneven, you reposition the ladder. On the other hand, you can use a leveling device to make sure you've got a safe and secure footing there. Also, make sure you use both hands when climbing up a ladder. You're less apt to lose your balance if you have both hands on the side rails when climbing any ladder. Also, if you need heavy tools or materials, don't carry them up. Have someone hand it up to you, or you can hoist it up and lower it down. And one thing to make sure of, make sure you secure the area from cross traffic. Use anything for a barricade, because the last thing you want is anyone running into that ladder knocking you down. Okay? Now I'll show you, a lot has to do with the type of ladder. You come this way. Now you do avoid electrical hazards with metal ladders. If you're going to work on electrical equipment or work in an area that has an electrical hazard, don't ever take a chance with a metal ladder. You use wood, fiberglass. And when working with a ladder, make sure that it's properly opened and locked. Fellas, with an extension ladder, you make sure that those rung locks are properly engaged before climbing. All right? And with step ladders, you have other considerations. Take this one, for example. Okay, Joe, open it. you always check to make sure the stepladder is fully open, the spreader's locked. Now you have a solid base to work with. Well, Joe, those are some of the most important things you should always do. Now you want to hear about the most important don'ts? I'd appreciate it. That's typical. Would you take this one? I'll show you. Now, whoa. You don't ever use a ladder that's been dropped or damaged or worn out until it's been inspected. There can be hidden damage. And don't use a ladder with makeshift repairs. You look it over. If makeshift repairs are evident, stay off. Now, why don't you take this out of use until it's been inspected? And you know there's plenty of time to do the job. Don't have to take all that stuff with you. And you don't stand on the top cap or the top step of a step ladder. It's too easy to lose your balance. You see, there's a warning label like this on every step ladder. No, wait, Joe, that's dangerous. You don't ever have more than one person on a step ladder at any one time. Now, you know the old saying, 2 people equals 2 bad. And another thing, don't ever walk a step ladder while you're standing on it.
What do you mean by walking it?
Some people will move a ladder like this instead of getting off, moving it over, and climbing back up again. Now, temptation leads to a real quick downfall. But this not only is unsafe, it damages the ladder, too.
Any other don'ts I should know about?
Yeah, the biggie. Don't ever overreach while on a ladder. See, that shifts the center of gravity and causes the ladder and you to fall. The thing to remember, Joe.
Yeah? What's that?
You follow the do's and avoid the don'ts.
Thanks for the advice. I see you've got everything under control here.
1:23 p.m. I stopped for lunch at a Little Greasy Spoon just outside of town. And on my way back, I passed a construction site and saw people working with ladders. I stopped and asked if I could speak to the superintendent of the job. Tell me, son, can you tell me where the foreman's at?
Right over there. Fellow with a vest on.
Thanks.
No problem. Yeah, what can I do for you?
Name's Monday. Joe Monday, private detective. Investigating a ladder accident. Trying to find out everything I can about ladders. Had some time, sir. I'd appreciate it. Tell me how you use ladders on a job site.
Sure thing, Mr. Detective. Name's Baldwin, by the way.
How do you do, Baldwin?
Now, what do you want to know?
Just stopped at Associated Industries. You told me the basic do's and don'ts about ladders. I was wondering anything you could add to it.
Well, there's a lot of ladders out there. Some are better than others. Some are going to give you a better performance than others. Some are safer. Some are going to last longer than others. Some are going to be more efficient on the job. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're talking construction or industrial maintenance or whatever. You can tell the difference by looking at the quality factors that are built into a ladder. In just a minute. Put this on and come on along with me. Come on over here, this one. All right, on, Biff.
Okay, Jim.
There are 3 primary quality factors: design, materials, and workmanship. Once you know about them, you'll have a good idea about what makes one ladder better than another.
Okay. Why don't you tell me about them?
Well, poor design makes for a poor ladder. So you want to look for good design features like reinforcements of critical stress areas. Are they there? Are they 2-point braces? Or are they 3-point braces? The more reinforcements and the better they are, the safer the ladder. You also want to look for safety shoes for extra service life and increased safety. You'll want to look at the rivets on aluminum ladders and fiberglass ladders like these. Are the rivets semi-tubular or are they solid like this? Solid is best.
Why's that?
Well, it makes for a more rigid connection, and the ladder stays rigid longer. Now, take a look at those 2 step ladders. Both of them are 8-footers, but they have different climbing angles. The one behind is easier to climb. There's another thing you want to remember. The taller the ladder, and that's a tall ladder, the more important is good design. So you want to make sure you look for design variations that affect both safety and performance. Next thing you want to check out is the materials. Poor materials make for a poor ladder. Check out the wood. Look for cracks, splits, knots, cross grain. These are all easy imperfections to spot. You also want to look to see if it has a protective coating or safety shoes for prolonged life. Hold it, hold it. This one does. It's got the protective coating and the safety shoes. See?
Yeah, I can see that.
Thanks a lot. But that's not the whole story. Come on over here. Now, with aluminum and fiberglass ladders, just look at the dimensions of the major component parts. There. You can see that this ladder on the right, here, is more durable and rugged. Now, it's easy to spot differences in materials. All you have to do is look closely. Now, the next thing is workmanship. Poor workmanship makes for a poor ladder. Now, of all the quality areas to judge, this is the easiest because it's easy to spot shoddy workmanship. Here's a perfect example. You can see if the parts are loose or misaligned. Here, take a look. Yeah. You can see sharp edges or burrs or splinters. You can see shoddy workmanship. And if you do, then what? Don't use the ladder until it's fixed.
1:36 p.m. The superintendent took me on a tour of the job site to point out different ladders in use. He said it's important to match the ladder to the job, and he's going to show me what he means.
Matching the job requirement with the right ladder is as easy as it sounds. All you got to do is think first about the job that's required, and then think second about the ladder that will meet the requirements safely and efficiently. Right away. Now, I usually ask myself a couple of questions to help me pick the right ladder, like, what's my workload going to be? Now, since I top the scales at about, 210 pounds or so, don't I wish? And I'm going to be carrying tools and equipment that weigh over 40 pounds right away. I'm not going to use this ladder. I'm going to take this one.
They look the same to me.
Duty ratings, Joe, duty ratings. Now, this ladder has a Type 1 duty rating capacity of 250 pounds. And my total load is more than that, so it's not safe to use. Now, this ladder has a Type 1A duty rating capacity of 300 pounds. It's the better choice. Now, I also ask myself, how high up am I going to have to go? Now, if it's fairly low, I may use a short or mid-range step ladder, or a straight ladder if there's a support to lean it against. Now, if the job is higher, I want to make sure that the ladder is long enough to let me comfortably reach the job without any overreaching. That's the most common cause of accidents with ladders. That's why I never reach too far, ever. Another thing I like to think about is what I call mobility factors.
Can you describe what you mean by mobility factors?
Sure. That means I got to think about moving the ladder and moving myself. I mean, I may want to use it a number of places around here. So I might want to use rolling scaffolding or a personnel lift. Now, if there are any obstructions on the job site, I might need special equipment to give me the access and stability I need. Another thing I got to think about is how much moving around am I going to do once I'm up there?
Excuse me, boss.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, if I'm going to be walking back and forth and going up and down, scaffolding or a personnel lift might make more sense. Now, if there are obstructions on the way to the job site, special equipment could be needed. Now, there's one more important factor to consider in matching the ladder to the job, Joe.
What's that?
Environment.
Environment?
Working environment. For example, if there are any electrical hazards around, never use a metal ladder. Electrical shocks are the biggest cause of accidents with metal ladders.
Yeah, they made a big point of that over at Associated Industries.
Well, it's worth hearing more than once. It's a killer. Now, if the conditions are windy like they are today, or if it's slippery, make sure you bring equipment to tie down the top of the ladder so it won't blow over. Thing is, think before you just reach for any ladder that's handy. Think, and you'll have the right ladder to do the job safely and efficiently.
Think I got enough? Thanks.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
3:10 p.m. I finished my investigation. I'm on my way back to see the accident victim. All right, sir. Can you tell me again what happened?
Well, like I said, I was doing some maintenance up on the lights.
On top of the ladder.
Yeah, I was fixing the first light, and then I leaned over to get the next one. Like I said, next thing I knew, I was on the ground. Hey, but I'm telling you, it wasn't my fault.
That's what they all say. But it was. You broke 2 of the cardinal rules about using a ladder safely. You were working up there all right, but the ladder wasn't tall enough to do the job safely. You were standing on the top cap, and what's more, you reached too far. Then you lost your balance and fell. You've got nobody to blame but yourself.
The story you saw is all too often true. The names were changed to protect the innocent. The accident victim was lucky. He only had a broken arm and a minor concussion. He learned his lesson. He never again had a ladder accident.
You'll probably never have a 709, a ladder accident, if you think before you reach for a ladder and get one that's safe and efficient to use. Another tip, read this ladder guide. It's easy to read and it's full of tips on how to choose and use ladders for safety.